Hey everybody, my name is Gary Yao, and today I would like to share with you the impact of the NAR lawsuit, or the National Association of Realtors, being sued and losing. So let's get started. A Missouri court found that NAR, National Association of Realtors, and two brokerage firms, Home Service of America and Keller Williams Realty, were guilty for $1.8 billion in damages for conspiring to keep commissions artificially low. This marked the beginning of the end of how homes are bought and sold. The ones in favor of the lawsuit, they claim that this could be eventually good because it will reduce real estate agents' fees and lower costs for homes for buyers or sellers, especially right now that home prices are so expensive. Well, if the housing market wasn't tough enough, the NAR, National Association of Realtors, we're just going to say NAR from now on, they have been fighting of the US antitrust laws, officials, and litigations. They have been for years, in and out of courts regarding anti-competitive practices, and this verdict is the association's biggest setback yet. This verdict is just one of several lawsuits being currently filed against NAR, which is also facing scrutiny from the US Department of Justice. So, what is this case about? The vast majority, or nearly 90% of all US homes, are bought or sold through a real estate agent, and this real estate agent is affiliated with NAR. The plaintiff argument is that NAR is forcing home sellers to pay an inflated commission that is then split between the buyer's agent and the seller's agent. The home seller argues that commission sharing as a condition to access the multiple listing service, or MLS, was unfair and kept commissions artificially high. Typically, when a home goes on the market for sale, the sellers offer their broker a set commission. The commission has consistently been around 6% of the sales price, usually with 3% being split for the buyers and 3% for the seller. The homeowners or home sellers argue that the cost of all buyer's agent's commission shouldn't be paid by the seller, but by the buyers who receive the service. So the seller said that the buyers should be able to negotiate the fee for their own agent, and that the seller should not be on the hook for paying it. The truth is that home sellers knew how much the total commissions they were paying to the listing agent, and they agreed on the contract. Now, I know, let's say that I'm agreeing to sell your property for 6%, and as long as I get you the price that you feel comfortable accepting, you're happy to pay me the fee that we agreed on. I can decide how much I can share that commission and how to get it sold. In fact, agents use the commission to pay as transaction coordinators, photographers, staging companies, trash hauling, cleaning companies. Should any of these professionals sit down and negotiate with the seller separately? That is a question that some may need to ponder. So what happens to the buyer? This is supposed to lower the price for real estate because commissions were artificially kept high, thus making houses unaffordable. But let's think about it. For one, houses have to appraise, otherwise the bank will not approve for the loan of the property. Let's say that buyers have to pay the buyer's agent a commission. Now, not only would this make housing for first-time home buyers less attainable, because the buyers have to scrape and save between 3.5 to 5% for a conventional down payment, and on top of that, pay 3% for a buyer's agent's commission. Hiring a lawyer is not any better because they will charge by the hour instead of by the commission, getting the closing done. And the lawyer will write the contract the way that you as a buyer ask the lawyer to write it. The lawyer will not help you with inspection, sheet terms, disclosures, or any of the nuisance that a real estate agent will know. Things that real estate agents do anyways for a commission. Buyers will be left in the dark without representation. And if they choose to do the paperwork themselves because they can afford a buyer's agent, they will be at the mercy of the seller's agent. Not to say that listings agents are bad, but they have a fiduciary duty to negotiate on behalf of the homeowner. Now, not to also to mention that if the seller's agent are being paid, that means that half of real estate agents will be gone and out of a job, and that's totally okay because that's capitalism at its best. The good news is that successful agents will be successful no matter what they do and what profession they end up switching to. The bad news is if a buyer that you're a buyer, you better save up because you don't want to negotiate against good agents that are staying in the industry. This might be good news. We could end up purging agents that are not successful anyways and they're just occupying space. So what happens to home sellers? Home sellers will end up paying only the seller's agent, will pay only one agent. So instead of, let's say, paying 3%, they pay instead of paying 6%, they pay 3%. So they win because they protect their equity, correct? Let's look at deeper. Let's take a look at this deeper. What am I saying? In this scenario, the listing agent doesn't belong to NAR because they are disbanded. So the agent take a listing and will try to look for a buyer himself. Since there isn't a single or MLS market for a property, he will try to find a buyer from his personal pool of contacts. Then maybe use a pool of contacts from the brokers he belongs to. An agent that has been in the industry long enough will have a big enough database to find a buyer for your property. But no matter how big that database is, it will not be as big as the MLS itself, which promotes listings nationwide. This is what I envision real estate will look like, and without the NAR. Buyers and sellers will have to pay for a subscription fee to see properties in different platforms, let's say Zillow, Redfin, and Trulia. Similar to paying a subscription to Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, etc. You will see properties in one platform that you will not see in others, and you have to pay for it yourself, since agents are no longer required to pay for it in order to belong to an association and offer it for free in the form of MLS to everyone. In such a scenario, sellers may or may not get the most exposure for a property, since they will limit it to only the database of the listing agent. So my question is there a chance that homeowners might be leaving money on the table because they hire an agent that doesn't have that many offers? Or maybe some of them are lowballers, but you wouldn't know because you're relying on that one agent's database. This is far from over, though the Department of Justice is looking into this matter because it has to do with the conspiracy to keep commissions as high as opposed to supply and demand. This case will take years to settle since NAR's legal defense are appealing. But no matter what course this case will take and who wins, good agents will continue to do business in real estate, and real estate is still the best place to put your money. My name is Listwithyau, and I will talk to you soon.